Hi, we're Growing Up Without Borders, and today we're going to share with you our experience in Quito, Ecuador.
So we started our trip in Quito very kind of, I don't want to say sad, but it was from being at the hospital with Chloe. So we were actually going to avoid Quito originally just because we wanted to see more of the smaller towns in Ecuador and not hit the big city. But nonetheless, we ended up in the big city and spent a week in the hospital with Chloe. So we just needed to play it low-key and make sure that her fever didn't come back and that she was feeling better. So we stayed at a really nice Airbnb, very close to the center of the city. And we kind of just played it like the locals do. So we just went around, did the normal things. But one of the things we did to celebrate Chloe getting better, what was it, Chloe?
Going to watch Utopia.
At the movies. So that was fun. They have the song in there, I won't give up, no I won't give in, that one. So that was kind of like our theme song for Chloe getting better at the hospital and celebrating her healing.
So we walked around the downtown and it had really like a European feel with the squares and just the streets and the buildings.
Yeah, we did a lot of different streets down there, didn't we? So we walked around many downtown streets and just enjoyed the whole area.
So did you know that Quito is actually the capital of Ecuador, and it's a really big city because it has the coast. Ecuador has the Amazon, like Brazil, and it has the mountains, and it has the coast.
So there's three major areas, right, of Ecuador?
Yes.
So one thing that you'll definitely want to do if you're visiting the area in Ecuador or Quito is you want to go to the center of the earth, because the Ecuador is in the center of the earth, and there's this like amazing museum where you can see hands-on experiences. You can feel the gravity, you can feel the pull basically of the different magnetic zones from the north and the south, and you can see firsthand literally what the effect is on the earth. So some of the cool things there, do you remember, girls, some of the activities that they were doing?
Yeah, for example, if you had an egg on the equator line, it would just like be straight up.
So you could literally put it on it was on a nail.
Yeah.
And you can balance the egg straight up on the nail and it wouldn't fall over. So that was really cool.
And then something else that was cool is that when you hold your hand like this, you can do it when you're off the line. When you're on the line, you can't touch your other finger. It's like
Really?
it's pulling your finger.
I don't remember that one.
I think
do.
she's right.
Wow.
When we did this experiment with the water, like going down the drain, so like for example on the north side, it would go down the other one way, and then on the other side, on the south, it would go down the opposite way. So that was cool to see.
That was so cool. And then
And then in the middle, it would just go straight. No churning, like just straight.
so you're actually 1 kilo less in weight when you're standing on the middle, like when you're in the middle of the earth. So the gravity is different. And when you're standing on a line and you try to walk straight, what happens, girls?
You start to feel like pulls, no?
You like literally get pulled from one side to the other. You're feeling the gravitational pull.
One force
Let's
push
see.
to the south, the
Try.
force push to the northern hemisphere.
Close your eyes, lift your head up. And try to walk. You feel dizzy? Let's see you do it, Angelique. Close your eyes, put your head up. You feel it pulling you, don't you? We're gonna see the water.
Ready?
Gonna go straight down.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. Look the surface.
Look at the surface.
Yeah, look the lips. Check the lips here. No vortex, no whirlpool, no clockwise. The lip goes straight down on the middle of the water. No spin here. The water doesn't spin on the equator. Let's go to Australia. Let's go to the south.
We're going to Australia.
Let's go to Australia to the south.
Here
we go.
Let's just go.
Which way is in the south?
Which way does go to the south? Clockwise or counterclockwise, girls? Do you remember?
Clockwise. Look over here. Look the lips. It's clockwise.
So they spin like a clock.
Now let's go to the north.
Go to the north.
North of the line. Let's go to Canada. Now we're in Canada.
Empty colors. Yes, right. Like in China. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Anti-clockwise in the northern hemisphere. Did you like? This is a calendar. This is a solar calendar. In the past, indigenous people used to see in this stone the times of planting, harvesting, and the festivities of the sun. Indigenous people used to see the shadow. But could you move a little bit? Yeah, you can see here the shadow. Yes, here.
Yeah.
The shadow you can see here is located 6 months in the north, 6 months in the south. But 2 days the shadow is located here on the equator line on the middle of the world. It is in the equinox. Yes, it's 21st March and 23rd September. For the reason the shadow you can see now is closer to the line. But in the equinox days, the sun is located here. The shadow is located here right on the equator. The sun goes east to west. The shadow is going to reduce the size. At the noon, the shadow disappears here because the sun shines, falls straight down directly. In these days in the equinox, when the shadow disappears, indigenous people celebrate the festivities of the sun. 21st March, the name is Pauca Rising festivity, and 23rd September is the Inti Line festivity. Actually, the shadow is located in the north. It means that the sun is in the south. For the reason these countries are in summer, but these countries in winter.
So basically, also the clock, it would have different times. So when the sun would come, right, it would like say the timing.
Well, what it was is
of
like
the winter, spring.
well, because they had this like peg right literally in the center of the earth, and then the sun literally is when it's south, then it shows the shadow like this to the north, and then when the sun's over in the north, it shows the shadow to the south. So it's showing that they can tell the time of the year based on where the sun and the shadow was on the peg, and yeah, the time of day. So it'd go around like that.
So at this equator line, there is a museum, like talking about the Inca people and stuff like that. We learned some interesting facts. And one of them was like that they would take the head of a person basically, and then they like shrink them down to like, you can have them on like a necklace almost, or a pole, and then they would bring that to like war with them. It's like
they're like, like kind of.
It was weird because it had hair and everything. It was
so, and the way they shrunk the heads down, I forget what they did. It was like a whole process that they would do to shrink the skull down to this tiny little skull size, right? We visited these tombstone areas, and kind of like mummies, they made this whole preparation for the people when they died. But it was really weird because what, Chloe? What were you going to say?
When the men would die, the whole family would die, right?
Yeah, so if the man, the head of the family, died, they literally put to death the rest of the family, the wife and the kids. So they all went together in this like house for like the tombstone kind of, or tomb house, whatever you would call that. So that was really weird for us.
And I think how they killed the family, the kids and the mom, was they give them a special drink that was like poisoned.
I think,
they all
yeah, I think you're right.
when they buried them alive.
And then I don't think they buried them alive. It's hard to remember because we see so much, but I think they gave them a special drink. I think you're right. So then the other thing we saw in a museum, this was, It wasn't in Quito. It was in...
What are you trying to...
Remember we saw the skulls were a different shape, but we also, I think, saw this at the same museum. Like, the skulls were literally different. It was in Cuenca, I believe. And they did some kind of operation to the brain, didn't they? And like there was like weird holes in the skulls. So it was just showing like how in the ancient times, they like had all these like really weird rituals and things that they used to do. But the shape of the head almost looked like an alien, like it was deformed, and the back of the crane was like stretched out.
So one cool thing about the museum too, you were able to taste chocolate. And that was cool because we like to do that.
That's one of our most favorite activities, is sampling chocolates.
Yeah.
But do you remember the different flavors?
They were dark, lots of them, and bitter. And then there was different flavors. There was like...
I feel like they had ginger in it, maybe. Some of them were spicy.
Yeah.
There was like chili chocolate.
You got sour, you got bitter.
Yeah, it was different because it was like something we never had or were used to. But that was really cool and really fun. So, and they make it right there locally.
So something we did for Daddy's birthday was that we went to Chili's and we had a fun time there. And we surprised him and everyone sang a happy birthday in the restaurant.
Happy birthday, Tyler! That was really fun. You remember, we were just in a store the other day and it was Chloe's birthday, and everyone came around saying happy birthday to you too, right? Were you kind of shy about it or embarrassed? Yeah. And so I think Tyler was too. I think Daddy was too. He was a little bit shy when we all sang him a happy birthday, but it was fun to do that. In Quito, and one thing that you can do there is you can go all the way up the telecabin as if you were in Switzerland, except for there's no snow, and you're going over the big cities. So we did that. We went all the way up and then enjoyed the whole viewpoint and the scenery from up above, and viewing the whole city line, and not city line, but I guess the whole city down below. And so that was always fun. And when we first got on it, it reminded us of the Disney ride when you're going up to space. I forget what it's called. When you're at...
Really?
Yeah, because we all stood in these like circles, and it felt like, I'm the captain, I'm the this, I'm the that, and then we had to wait for the ride to come in, and then the ride was like going ever so slowly, and then finally we get in, and then when you go, it just like kind of goes, whew, and it goes faster. So it reminded me of the Disney ride anyway.
Okay, yeah, I know.
What ride is that at Epcot?
It's the
when you go to the space
one.
Anyway, it's really fun.
At Epcot.
Yeah.
So something that was quite nice was that the doctor, she came all the way from where we were staying before, all the way to Quito to come and see me.
From Atacama, so it was like 4 hours and so away, I believe. And she came, driving time. And she came to see Chloe, and she wanted to make sure she was feeling better. So that was just a really cool experience, right? And we're still in touch with her nowadays, so that's fun. So overall, we had a really nice time in Quito. Even though I don't personally enjoy the big cities, it was still really fun. We were able to recoup, get our strengths back, feel better. And then what we decided to do, so we were renting an Airbnb, and we were in contact with the host, and we were taking a bus all the way north to the border of Colombia. And the owner of this apartment we were staying, he was like, you know what, I'm a local, and I wouldn't even leave at the time of day that you're leaving, because it means that you're going to get there at nighttime. And he said basically it's not really something that is advised because it could be dangerous and such. And we actually did have a little bit of a scare crossing the border, but we'll leave that into Colombia. Yeah, it was crazy, but that'll be in our next video. So make sure you stay tuned basically for the next one, and hit the little notification bell, and then that way you'll be notified when we post the videos about Colombia.
We hope you enjoyed our video of Quito, Ecuador.
Please subscribe and give us a big thumbs up.
Yes, and comment below. Let us know where you're watching from, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!